In part 1 of this process series, I explained how I clean, photograph, and adjust the image of each slide to prepare them for this next step in the process. In this video, I will show how each image from the cropped folder is merged with their text description and location information into a single graphic, which will later be used to assemble the video for their particular episode. This video will take you step by step through the process of completing one of these full-size graphic images. In part 1 of the process series, we use Paint.net to modify and resize our images. We opened one image at a time and used only a single layer to modify each image and save it. The process in this video, however, will require using multiple layers. It is important to understand that layers in a Paint.net layers bar are ordered from bottom to top. This means that bottom layers can be partly or completely covered by any layers above them on the layers list. I designed this custom Paint.net file with pre-made layers to prepare images for use in the final video. Here is the Paint.net file. Let's look at the layers and what purpose each one serves before we get into the creation of an actual final image that will be used in part 3 of this series to create a video episode. Here, the bottommost layer is active. This layer is the background layer for the final image. This next area between the background and the upper foreground layer is where each of the prepared images from part 1 will be inserted and aligned. The next layer remains above the image as a foreground frame and also serves as the background on the right for the text of the description and location layers above it. The topmost image appears below the opening, and the description and location text show above this layer. In order to make sure that the underlying image and text are aligned in the final composite, a semi-transparent overlay layer is used as a temporary guide. Here, an underlying image, location text, and descriptive caption are centered around these guidelines. In addition to the normal description layer, there are two alternate description layers. Both allow for noting that an image is an alternate to a previous image, one in slightly larger text. There are two additional layers at the top of the layers list. The topmost layer is another blank foreground layer that acts to frame the layer below it. That next to last layer is used to place important notices or relevant information in yellow text for viewers to be aware of. Now that we have looked at the layers and what they do in Paint.net, I will walk you through the process of bringing in an image, aligning it, and adding the description and location information. The end result will be just one of many graphic images used in an episode of the Magic Lantern Time Machine. What follows is a demonstration of the process of creating just one of those images. But first, an explanation regarding the format of each image used to compile the video episode. the template used is set to the same size that will be used in the video editing program. This size, 1920 pixels by 1080 pixels, is a standard format for many video editors. As you will see in this demonstration, when saving a completed image for use in a video as a JPEG or PNG file, the Paint.net program will require you to flatten all the layers in the image down to a single layer. This results in a single layer image, identical to the multi-layered image you created. Paint.net maintains a list of all your actions in a history window. This allows you to undo mistakes and flattening. Since most of the flattened layers are required for any additional images, the demonstration will also show how, after one image is saved, the layers can all be restored by selecting the step in the History panel from just prior to the flattening. One more note about working in Paint.net. In order to maximize the working area in Paint.net, I use two monitors side by side. This lets me use Paint.net while having the episode master list and the file folder with all of the cropped images for that episode open and ready for use. Before starting, I open the cropped folder on my second monitor and verify that all the images I need for an episode are there. For this demonstration, we will be using the second image to create a new graphic. Next, I open the episode master list and scroll to the listing for the episode being created. If you do not have two monitors, you can always use the Alt-Tab keyboard command to switch between Paint.net and these windows. With the multi-layered live prep file open in Paint.net, we are almost ready to create the next image for the episode, slide KVS 433. First though, I prefer to type with the caps lock on for any text I add. Next, I open the Colors panel and change the primary color to white instead of the default black for any text I add to the image. Then I select the drop-down Graphic toolbar for editing. This places frequently used editing tools in a convenient place on the screen. The demonstration starts with one image and its caption or description and location information already in place. I will quickly toggle the existing layers to show their positions before beginning. At the very bottom is the background layer. Above that is where the images go, the most recent above the others. Next is the foreground frame and background for descriptions and locations. Above that, the text and image alignment guide. Next, the layer for location text. Then, above that, the layer for image descriptions. Before we can work on the next image, we need to select the layer for the current uppermost image, as shown. The next image added will be inserted just above this layer. Now we go to the cropped folder, where we will drag the current image to the completed subfolder. We select the next image by right-clicking and using the copy command. Next, make sure that the uppermost image layer is selected before the next step. Then, select Edit from the top menu, and then paste into New Layer. This will place the copied image into a new layer above the previous layer. Before moving this new layer into place, I renamed the layer to match the image name by double-clicking on the layer name and entering the new name in the dialog box. Once the layer is renamed, it is time to center the image in the template frame. The center of the pasted image has a circle and plus sign as a guide to move it. The centering guide has pale squares indicating the actual center. By holding down the mouse button, you can drag the image within the frame and center it evenly. Once the image is centered, we will make changes to the location information by selecting the location layer. Then, using the selection tool, select the previous location text and delete it. Before entering the new location text, make sure that your text color is set to white. Next, select the text tool. Then, verify that the font and font sizes are correct. Using the alignment guides, enter the location text and adjust positioning as needed. With the location entered, it is time to enter the descriptive text for this image in the caption layer. Again, using the selection tool, select the previous descriptive text and delete it. Now, you can enter the caption or description information in the caption layer. If the text doesn't quite fit, you can move it or adjust the font size to place it in position. With the image, description, and location information in place, it is time to remove the guide and save this image. I select File, then Save As. Making sure I am saving to the final folder, I change the file type from PDN to PNG and change the file name to the correct slide name. In the Save dialog, I click OK. Since the image is currently multi-layered, the save needs to flatten the layers into one layer to save. Once saved, we can then unflatten the layers by going to the History panel and selecting the next to last history item before the flatten. Now, all the layers are available again. To continue adding more images, start by selecting the current image layer. Now go to the text alignment layer and turn it back on. Again, don't forget to select the topmost image layer before copying and pasting the next new image. When all these images have been processed and saved to the final folder, they will be used to create an episode of the Magic Lantern Time Machine. In part 3 of this series, I will briefly explain how that is done. Part 3 will be brief, as there are so many different applications for creating a finished video. Since my episodes are all based on still images, Part 3 will describe basic drag and drop video compilation.